During this lesson, you will learn about a part of warning signs, called symbolic signs. Symbolic signs are used to warn road users, by using images to show conditions on the road ahead. Gate ahead. This sign warns you that the road is closed by a gate, or there is a railway crossing with a gate, or barriers present ahead. Low-flying aircrafts ahead. This sign warns you about the presence of low-flying aircrafts in the area of the road. Sudden noise and change in wind direction caused by these aircrafts may cause an accident. Stop sign ahead. This sign warns you about a traffic control stop sign ahead. General warning ahead. This sign warns you about a hazard on the road ahead. Electrical shock ahead. This sign warns you about live overhead electrical power cables ahead that may cause electrical shock when in contact with a vehicle or any vertical object carried by a road user. Emergency flashing light ahead. This sign warns you about a danger ahead, shown by a yellow flashing light within the warning sign. Crosswinds ahead. This sign warns you about strong wind ahead that may move the vehicle off from its path. Traffic signal ahead. This sign warns you about traffic control signals ahead. Warthogs ahead. This sign warns you about warthogs that may be on the road. Horses and riders ahead. This sign warns you about horses and riders that may be on the road. Pedestrians ahead. This sign warns you about pedestrians that may be on the road. Children ahead. This sign warns you about children that may be on the road. Pedestrian crossing ahead. This sign warns you about a pedestrian crossing that may be on the road. Pedal cycles ahead. This sign warns you about pedal cycles that may be on the road. Road narrows from left side. This sign warns you that the road is about to become narrow from the left side. Road narrows from right side. This sign warns you that the road is about to become narrow from the right side. Road narrows from both sides. This sign warns you that the road is about to become narrow from both left and right sides. Yield sign ahead. This sign warns you about a yield sign ahead. Restricted width ahead. This sign warns you that the road ahead will be restricted to 2.1 meters in width. Vehicles with a width equal or more than what is indicated on this sign cannot use the road ahead. Restricted height ahead. This sign warns you that the road ahead will be restricted to 4.42 meters in height. Vehicles with a height equal or more than what is indicated on this sign cannot use the road ahead. Falling rocks ahead, left. This sign warns you about the possibility of falling rocks from the left side of the road. Falling rocks ahead, right. This sign warns you about the possibility of falling rocks from the right side of the road. Uneven road ahead. This sign warns you that there is a ridge or dip in the road, making the surface of the road uneven with potholes. Speed humps ahead. This sign warns you that there are speed humps on the road, and vehicles should reduce speed. Drift ahead. This sign warns you that there is a drift in the road ahead. This drift may contain water, rocks, and loose material, which can make driving dangerous. Tarred road begins ahead. This sign warns you that the surface of the road will change from gravel to tarred asphalt. Hippopotamus, hippos, ahead. This sign warns you about the possible presence of hippos on the road. Wild animals ahead. This sign warns you about the possible presence of wild animals on the road. Farm animals ahead. This sign warns you about the possible presence of farm animals on the road. Wild horses ahead. This sign warns you about the possible presence of wild horses on the road. Elephants ahead. This sign warns you about the possible presence of elephants on the road. Railway crossing ahead. This sign warns you about A railway crossing ahead. Jetty edge or riverbank ahead. This sign warns you about the edge of a jetty or riverbank ahead. Drivers must not continue driving beyond this sign, as it is very dangerous. Slippery road ahead. This sign warns you that the road ahead is slippery and may cause a hazard, and all drivers should reduce speed. Congestion ahead. This sign warns you about the possibility of slow-moving traffic ahead, and all vehicles should reduce speed in order to avoid an accident. Trams ahead. This sign warns you about trams on the road. Agricultural vehicles ahead. This sign warns you about agricultural vehicles on the road. Gravel road begins ahead. This sign warns you that the surface of the road will change from tar to gravel. Motorgate ahead. This sign warns you about a motorgate on the road ahead. Motorgate ahead, left. This sign warns you about a motorgate on the left side of the road ahead. Motorgate ahead, right. This sign warns you about a motorgate on the right side of the road ahead. Tunnel ahead. This sign warns you about a tunnel on the road ahead. Reduced visibility ahead. This sign warns you about poor visibility on the road ahead, and all vehicles should switch on headlights and reduce speed. One vehicle width structure ahead. This sign warns you that there is a limited width structure ahead, and only one vehicle can pass at a given time. No vehicle is allowed to stop inside this structure. Narrow bridge ahead. This sign warns you that the width of the road is reduced at the bridge ahead. Slow-moving heavy vehicles ahead. This sign warns you that there is a steep downhill, and heavy vehicles may be traveling very slowly, and may lead to an accident if light vehicles behind are traveling fast. Restricted vehicle length ahead. This sign warns you that the road ahead will be restricted to vehicles with a length less than 15 meters. Vehicles with a length equal, or more than what is indicated on this sign, cannot use the road ahead. Steep ascent ahead. This sign warns you about a steep uphill on the road ahead, and vehicles may be required to change to a lower gear in order to climb the steep ascent. Steep descent ahead. This sign warns you about a steep downhill on the road ahead, and heavy vehicles may be required to change to a lower gear for a smooth and safe descent. Well done. You have come to the end of the lesson.